It was 10 years ago when your mother was killed and a plague began sweeping across the land. Now, after a decade has passed and you have been displaced to the capital city, the plague is ending and you have an opportunity to bring the murderer to justice. But cruel passions and fiendish spirits corrupt the capital. Will you find the justice you seek, or will dark powers snatch away the last of the family that is left to you? Leviathan, The Last Day of the Decade, is a visual novel set in a fictional world where magic, spirits, and anachronistic technology thrive. The story, such as it is, has you controlling a young aristocrat named Oliver who attends a magical academy. In between going to classes and chatting with friends, Oliver's goal is to uncover the mystery of why his mother was killed 10 years ago. Gameplay consists of a simple point-and-click interface where you will move around the environment, interacting with objects, chatting with people in order to gain clues, and using items from your inventory such as potions or musical instruments in order to solve problems. Some of the puzzles in the game actually have multiple solutions depending upon what actions you take, and there are even side quests which you can embark upon in order to gain little extra snippets of story. Now, to its credit, Leviathan has a very interesting setting populated by a cast of unique characters, and I found that exploring the world and uncovering its mysteries was a lot of fun. On top of that, it has strong aesthetics with a number of highly detailed character portraits and lovely backgrounds. Now, probably Leviathan's most distinctive feature is the game's aggressive story pacing. The game is organized into 5 chapters, with each chapter taking about an hour to complete. And it seems that in writing their story, the developers had no patience for you to just sit back and discover the tale at your own leisure. So instead, each scene appears to have been designed to thrust you into the most dramatically relevant moment that they can possibly think of. For instance, the first episode alone has, in 3 scenes, you heading home from school to get beat up by some childhood bullies, then chatting with your childhood friend, and after that, summoning a demon! You may think I'm leaving out some connective scenes in the middle there. Nope, that is the literal sequence of events. And then, if the story's pacing wasn't aggressive enough, the editing only exists to enhance the impatience of the developers. Here, watch me try to have a conversation with this young lady. Well, hey there, alright, what's going on with you? Yeah, maybe. Okay. So, yes, alright. Oh, that was a little unnerving. Didn't quite expect that. Okay, alright. A little painful there. Alright. You know what? That's not wrong, because it is an actual headache to try talking to you. Holy hell. Now, to its credit, Leviathan manages to have a fascinating story of love and betrayal and revenge, filled with all manner of characters and all manner of motivations. And when you have a story like that, you need to keep tight directorial control, otherwise the whole thing just spirals out of control. And I have to say that Leviathan spirals out of control in just the most beautiful fashion. It's like a whirlpool made out of absurdities and broken glass. The ending of Leviathan is very disappointing. Oh sure, the main plotline of your mother's murder is dealt with. I wouldn't say resolved, more dealt with. But beyond that, there are almost half a dozen characters or plot threads that are just left hanging in uncertainty. And I suppose part of that is inevitable considering the game's high ambitions yet episodic story structure. And maybe you won't mind it so much, but I personally found the ending far less triumphant than I had been led to expect. For a score, I would give Leviathan, The Last Day of the Decade, 2 out of 4 stars. Great aesthetics, great setting, questionable editing. But would I recommend it? That's quite a bit trickier. I have to admit, I was curious the entire time I was playing Leviathan. The developers did an excellent job of pulling me into the setting, which is part of what made the disappointing ending all that much more acute. So I might actually recommend Leviathan if you're someone who's in the mood for a thematically exciting visual novel, even if it lacks a resolutive ending. Alright, thanks for listening. Now, I have to get back to the capital city. There are mysteries afoot. Mysteries and murder.